Hi, everyone, and welcome to this sort of new episode or this week's shop talk. I'm calling it that. I'm still not super I don't know if that's going to be the title of this going forward, to be honest. But it's shop talk for now, I guess. So yeah, as you can see, I have a new camera. So please write in the comments if there's something wrong with the picture, stuff like that. It also has a built-in mic, so I hope that this is also better than the sort of built-in webcam and mic I have on my computer. I just want to amp up the quality of my streams a little bit more. I actually got a new camera for stream out here and doing videos out here, the Sony CV1, which is a known sort of YouTube camera, that kind of thing. But I didn't get it to work for live streams, so I actually got a genuine webcam. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait a second or two before starting this sort of shop talk. I have a bunch of stuff to talk about, and I have a bunch of stuff to show you. So I think this is going to be a jam-packed sort of episode. So yeah, make yourself known. It looks like there's one right now. I'm doing this for the people watching live, obviously, but also for people watching this later on. So it's not just live, it's sort of uploading too. Can you hear me? Is everything okay? Does it sound good? Does it look good? Hi, Yuglo. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching, tuning in, and supporting the channel. It's like 2025. I feel a little bit like it's going to be the year where I really, I don't take the people that watches my stuff for granted. I try not to do that anyway. I mean, it's easy to just do your content, watch those views going up and getting comments. I love every single comment. I try to answer every single one of them. But, I don't take it for granted. You are putting in time and effort for watching this, and I'm super grateful for that. So I think that 2025 for me is going to be the year that I really appreciate you guys watching my actual stuff, because it's insane people watching this stupid guy talk about records and showing records and music. I mean, you could do so much more with your time, so I'm super grateful. Hi, Jim. Jonas, hi. I'm going in and out of the stream because of work. Yeah, obviously, just thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. I'm going to mention you in just a couple of minutes, I think, here in the start of this episode or show, whatever you want to call it, live stream, because of reasons. Yeah, let's start this. I'm gonna first about the most important thing I think to really talk about is the fires in LA. It's horrible, and I watch these videos on Instagram. People from LA is putting up. It's just insane. So I reached out and I had a chat with both Daniel and Lance yesterday. They are both okay, but they have a lot of people around them, like friends and family, that is struggling right now. So yeah, hope they get that stuff under control fast. But I was so glad that they were okay. So that's the most important right now, that the people in Los Angeles are okay. I saw that Adam from Ancient Greece Records, that I also talk much with, he was also okay right now. So, but Daniel said that he 20 miles from sort of the epicenter of the fire, so it's pretty close, man. I can only imagine the anxiety, so yeah, hopefully I'll get back to them when everything is hopefully settled down. So that's it. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Vinyl Stockholm also. Jonas, he has a channel here on YouTube. He makes amazing content, like amazing content. So if you're not a subscriber to Jonas, obviously go to Vinyl Stockholm, one word, and sub him up. It's, if you're into the stuff that I'm into, you will have a blast with his content. Professional videos, and always super knowledgeable, talking about the records. And it so happens to be that he did sort of a 2024 awards, where he actually put this shop talk his live stream as the best, his favorite live stream in 2024, which is just insane. And I'm so happy and thankful. So thank you so much, Jonas, for that. I'll try to keep these live streams interesting and informative, but I want to also like really keep them about the shop. But with that being said, the shop is about music and records that I enjoy listening to myself. So it's always going to be about music that I think that if you like what I like, you will at least be interested in what I'm showing and talking about. I think so, at least. So yeah, number one, woohoo! Thank you. Can anyone tell me if the sound is okay? I didn't test this before, so the picture looks good, but yeah. So just so the sound is okay. I want to talk about a little bit of news in the shop. I want to talk about a little bit about my plans for 2025 when it comes to the shop. And also I have a stack of maybe 30 records or something like that I want to show you that are like they are in shop right now. I'm going to sell them. And there's everything from, I mean, Jimi Hendrix to Stones, but also a little bit rarer stuff like Terry Riley and so forth. So yeah, stick around for that. I'm gonna do that last, I think. And if you're interested in anyone, just PM me. You know. Okay, thank you so much, Jonas. Sounds good. That's awesome. You know, I try to put in I have a mic, you know, a professional mic when I do my videos, and I try to sort of, but I have to got this yesterday, so it's yeah, question. Let's do that. Hey, do you like Änglagård? Have not heard you speak about them. I love Änglagård. They are, I mean, it's not my favorite band of all time when it comes to Swedish progressive music, and I think that what really fails about Änglagård is that it's too new. I have a tendency not to listen to much new music. If you've been following my channel, it's pretty obvious that I sort of live in the past, and it's stupid, I know, but I'm sort of constantly moving forward when it comes to finding new music. And new music for me is the stuff that was made back in the day. So in the time that I have on my hands to really appreciate music and listening to music, it goes more towards older stuff. But with that being said, like Änglagård, fantastic band. I mean, it's Dungen. Jonas showed Dungen. I love Dungen. They are great, but I don't sort of spend time on it. And when it comes to collecting records, like really collecting, getting records, buying records, I don't buy anything new, like almost nothing. So if I stumble upon them and I see a financial benefit of having them in the shop, I will definitely have Änglagård and Dungen and other Swedish progressive records, but they are super hard to find. You know, you all know this. So that's my small sort of explanation on why I don't talk that much on new music. There were a time where I sort of collected Opeth records, for example. I love Opeth, and Mikael is my I don't know what it's called in English, but here in Sweden we say frikort, like free card. So I just want to sit down and talk to him. So nothing sexual at all. But yeah, he's just the best guy. Such an amazing record collection, and the knowledge is just like. So and I love Opus music, especially the stuff that they are doing sort of now, going more towards cleaner voice and even more mature prog. And they just had a new record out. I haven't listened to it. I've listened to maybe like 5 minutes then at work, and I had to do something else. And I sort of thought about getting the record because it's a lot of people have that record on their top 2024 lists and stuff like that. I know that I will love it, but I don't collect it. I turn my money when it comes to my collection towards other stuff. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about that, you know. And as I've said before, I think that there are as many ways of collecting records as there are collectors out there. Everyone has their own sort of thing, and collecting for so many years, I think I've found my sort of niche when it comes to what I like to get, you know. So yeah, just, you know, do more questions. I love the questions, so I'll continue a little bit, and then I go back to the comments and answer all the questions you have. So yeah, news. I have actually, like 2 days ago, it got like decided what is going to be Sublime Media's next exclusive. So I have done 2 exclusives now for the shop. And exclusives in this case are, I'm piggybacking on other people's success with having 50 copies of my own color. So it's like both having the cake and eating it at the same time, because I don't have to buy or, you know, going through the entire hassle of like getting the music and you know, the printing, pressing the vinyl, stuff like that, you know. And I'm teaming up with the best guys in the world for this, in my opinion. So I trust their sort of judgment on the quality of the music and the pressings and stuff like that, you know. So I'm diving headfirst into this. So it's going to be with Mellotron Records again, that I did Outsiders with Stefan Dimle and Mellotron Records. And he is putting out a live record with a Swedish progressive group called Marsfolket from 1971. He's claiming that it is the first Swedish supergroup because it has a stellar lineup. And I haven't heard a single note from this live concert, so I have no idea how it sounds. But I know that if Stefan is voting for it, you know, it's going to be amazing. I mean, the back catalog of Mellotron Records when it comes to Fläskigt Brinner and Bo Hansson and Hansson and Karlsson, you know, it's going to be great. So I'm glad and I'm honored to be able to do 50 for my shop and for my customers. I'm going to do it with an Opus strip as last time, and it's going to be out hopefully April, something like that. I think that he's aiming for the Solna Record Fair here in Stockholm, the biggest Scandinavian record fair. So I think it's going to premiere there. And I'm getting my 50 copies there. So, but there will be a pre-order and the artwork and everything when stuff are in line, so to speak. But pretty cool. It's going to be awesome to dive into another exclusive, I think. So yeah, news about the shop, like hands down about the shop, is also that I had to, the PostNord here in Sweden is raising their shipping. And even if I have a pretty good sort of deal with the shipping company here in Sweden, it's getting harder and harder to keep, the money. I don't know what it's called, but it's like right now when I send one record, I'm losing money. But when I send a couple, like 3, 4, it pans out. So I'm raising the shipping price from 78 Swedish crowns to 85. But I did the math for the entire year, and I can sort of, for 85, I can send how many records you want. So it doesn't matter if it's one record or if it's 20 records or 10 records or 5 records. You know, it's one flat single price. So I'm going to try that because losing money on shipping is not the most fun thing to do. So I had to do that, unfortunately. Let's do some let's see here. Take a quick whiff at the comments before I go into my plans for 2025. Let's see here, Marcus. Yeah, I figured that the newness, was the reason you hadn't mentioned them. But they sound like they were made, in 1973. I know. And yes, doing it is also amazing, and hope it's the best band ever. I agree. I agree, and I think that maybe you will be pleased about one of my plans for 2025 for the shop. So stay tuned for that. I have some plans on venturing out shop-wise. So yeah, Marcus also says you would interview Mikael. That would be fantastic. I actually, you should, yeah. It's like this. I met Mikael now in Den Bosch when I was there in November, and we talked. He's so looking forward to our conversation. We are doing a conversation here on my channel, like I've done with other musicians and producers and authors and stuff like that. And the sole reason I started to contact people and ask them if they wanted to have a conversation with me on my channel was to eventually get a hold of Mikael so I could have a conversation with him. When I have had a conversation with him, I could stop making videos. That is my life goal. Like sitting down, having a conversation with Mikael about his record collection. And it's super interesting about his career and Opeth and all that shit. But other people can do that. I just want to dive into his sort of record collection and his taste in records and why he collects how he does, so I talked with him in Den Bosch. We are definitely doing it, so everything's right, but he's in the middle of releasing the new Opeth record, so hopefully I can do it before they go out on some tour, so that would be awesome. So we are in the talks. He's a great guy. Hopefully we get to the opportunity to do it. Are you going to the record fair in Solna in February? Yes, I am, especially if the new exclusive is launched. The Marsfolket live record from Mellotronen. I am going there. It's, I can't. So the Solna Record Fair is there. It's too far from here where I live to just like go for a day. So I have to really, book a hotel and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more expensive than the more sort of local record fairs, but this is the sort of the biggest. I don't know if it's the best record fair in Sweden, but it's definitely the biggest one. So I'm definitely going if just the stars are aligned and stuff like that. The only record fair that I have said that I am going to is Den Bosch. I'm going there again in and also the Hova Record Fair, which is the best record fair in the world here in Sweden at a camping site. So I'm going there Wednesday, I think. And I think I'm going home before the actual record fair on Saturday because I'm more interested in the big collectors and sellers that hangs out in the camping site. Doing one more. Hatri, hi. Are you familiar with Swedish band Chicago Jassen? No, unfortunately not. Sounds new too. And I know that there is a live sprawling like jazz scene right now in Sweden, internationally regarded, and I'm nothing part of that. There were a time where I had a little bit. I tried to stay on top, of news and stuff like that, especially when I hang out a lot with Anders in Stockholm, which is another YouTuber. He doesn't do videos anymore, and it's been a while since we talked. But he's a musician in Stockholm and hangs out with a lot of those big sort of jazz names in Stockholm. So, but since we sort of stopped talking on a weekly basis, I haven't really got into it. And also with the shop and my sort of my interest has shifted a little bit. I'm more or less focusing 100% now on or like 95% maybe on psych and prod. The other 5% is mainly on Blue Note, Tone Poets and Classic series that I get for myself. Really. Marcus, I'm looking forward so much forward to it. I love your conversation videos. They are great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the answers. Mikael's music tips have shaped my taste more than anything else. And I totally agree with you. It's the exact same thing with me. I wouldn't be so deep into, especially, I think, UK prog as I am if it wasn't for Mikael. There were a radio show here in Sweden many years ago now. 2 seasons, 2 summers in a row. He did a talk with a radio profile, just playing records from his record collection live in sort of in radio, like an hour episode. And he did like 5-10 episodes, something like that, both seasons. And it was the first time I heard a lot of the ones that I feel is the best sort of music. Vashti Banyan, Lena Parhax. It was the first time I heard Comus. It was just a mind melter and such an door opener for the rest of the stuff that I really are interested in today. And I told him that on when I talked to him in the Bosch, I said that he is responsible and mostly due to the radio show. And he said that he would be cool if he did it again. He's a little bit like, he would be interested in doing the same style sort of thing or format again, just playing records from his collection. So I hope, hopefully my conversation with him will be a little bit like that, but without actually playing the music, but showing records, talking about the records and how he got into them, stuff like that. Feels like this live stream is turning into a fanboy Mikael stream, but he really deserves it. So yeah, well, yeah, and also I actually I looked for because this is in Sweden we have all and stuff like that is public domain, like not public domain, but it's fuck it. Okay, so everything is saved, and most of the stuff that they have recorded back in the day are available for stream. Public service, it's called public service, and so I was looking for the episodes, but they were turned down. I think it was due to the music that was playing, and they didn't have the rights for it and so forth. But I actually, this is many years ago, I actually got a hold of the producer for the show and asked him if there were any chance that I could get my hands on the episodes. And he said that there is no way. You have to go, they are in the vault in sort of the archive in Swedish radio. There's no way to get it, unfortunately. And he said that it was one of his favorite shows he ever done, blah, blah. So that was unfortunate. 1 week later, he sends a mail to me saying he has ripped every single episode for me, and here's the MP3s, but don't tell anyone. So this is the first time I'm actually telling this story. I think this is like 10 years plus ago, and I'm the only one who has the files on my computer. So I actually have all the episodes of Mika's obscure masterpieces or something like that it was called in Swedish. So yeah, let's go back to, just hit me with your questions and I'll get back to them later on. So yeah, my plan for the shop 2025 is definitely less stock. I did an inventory now and I have too much stock. Let's see here. That part of the store is everything that you see online in my web shop, and I have a shelf over there too. This behind me is used records, and used records isn't that I mean, having stock of used records isn't that bad because the margins are totally different when you buy collections, but when you buy new records like this, they cost like a lot of money, and the margins are very slim. So that means that every single record that is in here are money tied up. And so 2025, I'm going to have less stock, I think, of new pressed records. You are still going to be able to order everything of Gershon and Writing Easy Records and Adam from ancient Greece and so forth. But I don't think I'll, bring them home, hopefully selling them, over time, because it costs too much money. And also, I'm quitting jazz, so there will be no jazz in my shop in 2025. I'm going slowly but surely, like, phasing out all the jazz in my shop, and the stock that is left, I'm going to have here. So everyone that comes to dig in this little shop of mine will be able to look at the jazz, but I won't have it up in shop. I'm going to focus. The web shop is going to be focused 100% on psych and prog, and retro was the goal. The main sort of my main focus was retro, psych, and prog. But, and here's the next thing in 2025, I have decided to start putting up some new music in my shop. I don't want to compete with anyone about this, because I don't feel like I have the interest in new music in the same way as I have in the old music. And I think a bunch of people that sells these products do a heck of a lot better job than I could do. But with that being said, people are asking me for Writing Easy Records other stuff all the time, and I am the sole distributor in Sweden for that. I have the rights for distributing the Writing Easy catalog, which I have been doing. So some shops in Sweden have stock of Writing Easy Records, but not many, because it's hard to really work contacting the shops, and stuff like that for next to nothing. So I have actually decided to put up most, if not all, of Writing Easy Records inventory or sort of titles in my shop to order. I won't have them in stock, not for now at least, but if they sell well, I'm going to bring home a couple. But it will at least be available on my shop to order, and I think that's pretty neat, because there isn't that many Swedish shops that holds Writing Easy Records new music, so to speak. So I think that would be a nice thing to add. And if that is turning out to be more or less a success, then I'll venture out to other labels to see if there's something that really works in my shop when it comes to new music. With that being said, Opeth will probably never be in my shop. You will never see that, because they are too big of a band. Every single shop sells that music, so it's better for you to just go get it somewhere else. I mean, I can still order it. I can have the same prices as everyone else, but I mean, putting down that time to really putting it up on my shop and pricing it, and it's not worth the sort of the investment of time, I think. So yeah, but Writing Easy is special. Those US import records, I think, is well worth doing it, because there's no one else really that does it as a Swedish shop. So that's pretty big news, I think, because it's potentially opening up entire new sort of field of music to distribute here through my shop. So yeah, I think that's it about all the news I have. I won't bore you more about this. I want to show you some records, talk about a little bit about music before I get back to my cleaning. So yeah, but let's take some questions. If I'm looking forward to much. Yeah, Jonas says, nice, the end poster on the wall back of you. Have you had? I have that at home as well. Yeah, he's talking about this poster here. I actually got this from Oscar, a collecting friend of mine who lives in Stockholm. So Jonas knows him well. He's a insane sort of 45 collector, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Jonas. But I met Oscar a couple of times, especially in Hova. We hang out a lot in Hova, drinking beers and smoking pipes, and he's a great collector and so knowledgeable in music. He actually prints these to, I think, sell. So he gifted me this, so I haven't really found any frame for it. I want to frame it and put it up, so it's just sitting there right now, but it's very nice print. Marcus says, I have done research on the show and listening to everything from it. Cannot find the show, but people have made Spotify lists and stuff. Yeah, he also turned me into Comus and Linda Parham. Yeah, as I said, I have every single episode here on my computer. That's cool. I would love to actually hear them sometime. I will stop the fanboy now. No, don't stop. Continue. I mean, I wouldn't be here talking about this kind of music if it wasn't for Mikael from Opeth. Yes, have a 45 collector and also LP nowadays. I bought some private press stuff from him, and he sort of gifted me the Chickaton record also. He is the best, like, man. I should do something for Oscar. I should thank him more than I have. This is like 2025 is the appreciation year for people around me. I don't appreciate the people around me enough, I think. So let's show some records and talk about some music. This is new in shop. I had no idea about this. This is Inga Rumpf from Frumpy. My Life is a Boogie. And talking about Mick Åkerfeldt, I feel every time I see Boogie in either a track or on a title for a record, I sort of start smiling, because Mick Åkerfeldt has said in an interview that he never buys a record with the title, song title or title of the record with Boogie in it, which I think is pretty cool. This is not a good record at all. If you like Frumpy, you would probably not like this. But I thought it was kind of cool when I saw it in a big collection. A guy was selling this. I went there 2 weeks ago and got it, and I have nothing with Inga Rumpf, her sort of solo stuff, so I thought that was kind of cool to have in the shop. I think this is a 1973-75 UK Let It Bleed in amazing collection condition, with the custom Decca inner sleeve also with Rolling Stones on it. Really cool. So I mean, talk about a classic. Some of these I show you, maybe I've shown them before, but you know, bear with me. So that was kind of nice to add to the collection also. This I bought in another collection. I thought that I would keep it, but I'm actually getting the analog production 45 RPM versions instead, because they sound so good. But I'm preferably like original press or first press or early press at least kind of guy. But with the Doors catalog, I've started to buy the 45 RPMs, and they sound ridiculous. Like, they are so good sounding. So even if it's kind of cool to have a early press, I don't know if it's first, but an early press of the Doors records, I'm going for the 45. But there are a huge amount of collectors of this, so I don't feel like it's hurting the shop putting it out there, and it's not super expensive either. Like maybe the first issues is expensive, but another one that is a stone cold classic that you can get for sometimes at least the next to nothing is Cowboy in Sweden. And this is, I shouldn't say underrated, because a lot of people is fans of or are fans of the Hazelwood, but the Hazelwood went to Sweden in the 70s before he started his own record label. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Leah Records. And some of these are super good. This is good. I feel like Requiem, is that the word? For an Almost Lady is his best work. But I still need to find Tiger soundtrack. Tiger something. It's the most expensive one I've seen, actually. So there's some genres that I don't understand. Like, I can't really get into it, and I don't like it. I'm 41 years old. I can actually say nowadays that I don't like something and not have, you know, a bad conscience about it, not being, you know, hip or anything. But I found this, and this is a reggae record. It was in a big collection with Liquidator, with Harry J All Stars, and it's good. I feel it's really good. and the sound quality is just so. But if I understand correctly, no sort of old school type of reggae is really that good sounding. I don't know, but yeah. So this is going up in shop. I've listened to it a couple of times, but I don't want to start like the reggae collection in my collection. So hopefully that will go out to a better home. This is also kind of neat. I've had this for 12, 15 years, maybe something like that, in my own personal collection. It's Bahamas, no, Barbados press of Tonight's the Night. Can you see the sticker there? Sorry for the glare. Let's see if we can. There. Record made in Barbados by West Indian Records Limited. It sounds great. And it has a textured sleeve that I've never seen on another sort of Tonight's the Night record. So it's starting to fall apart here, actually, where a sticker was. But I've kept it in a plastic sleeve all these years. Sounds great. But I found a first German press. I think that they sound about the same. Haven't heard a first US. So I decided to put this up in shop. It's a little bit a cool one, you know. I don't know how many of you know about that Barbados press. One of the best records from Neil Young. Yeah, in found some Joni Mitchell also, and I mean Joni Mitchell is I mean, what a great artist, like, man. But again, I don't feel like I have the room for collecting Joni Mitchell records, and they are really cheap. And I mean, I will find those again, so I'm putting it up in shop. Found this pretty cheap, so thought I'll just flip it to make some profit on it. Actually, it's still sealed, on a marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. 2 LP sets, so yeah. Nice sort of Hendrix record, still sealed. Babe Ruth first base. I think that someone said this is the best Babe Ruth record, and I agree that it's an awesome record. This is like an 8 out of 10 in my book. So I already have this, but it's I found another copy, so I'm selling that in a shop. But I actually, for the first time, I wrote about this on Instagram. For the first time, I listened to this. Never heard this before. This is cheap heat, like really cheap heat. Costs in Sweden, you can buy this for like between 5 or 10 euro, I think. And this smokes. Maybe 2 tracks are just like so, but some of the tracks on here is awesome. So I mean, highly recommended if you find it for you know, a really good price. Another record that I also found in a collection was this, a Parliament live record. I don't see Parliaments that often, so in collections that I buy. So that was kind of awesome. This I think I've shown this before, but this is the Chocolate Watch Band, a compilation maybe on Big Beats, 1984. Do you know about this record? I mean, I don't have any Chocolate Watch Band in my collection or here in shop. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, I'll grab it. It's a popular group. Someone probably needs it, you know. Okay, so this is nice. I bought this for peanuts, like really, and I'm super glad that I did on Facebook Marketplace again. And this is a bootleg box called The Winterland Days by Jimi Hendrix. So I thought that I think that the Jimi Hendrix estate put out a really beautiful like box of this, maybe 10, 15 years ago, something like that. So I guess that this was the thing to get. Before that, comes with a insert CD style, and it's 3 records. But due to the fact this is a bootleg, I can't sell it on Discogs, so I'm putting it up in shop. Labels look like that. And I read some stuff about it. First foremost, it's a pretty rare bootleg, so it goes for some money. But also the sound quality is pretty nice too, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna spin it today here in shop when I clean and do inventory and stuff like that. So I'll check on the on the quality. But yeah, pretty nice. That's an awesome picture over there. So cool one to add. It has been sold for quite some money, so I thought that was nice. Nice deal that I can send to another collector that needs it. Moving on, this is also one that I got in a big collection that I went to pick up. And when it comes to this, I really want to like this guy, and maybe I'm not in sort of the mood for it right now where I stand. So I put my own collection up in shop, and I didn't have this, and I listened to it. Maybe I thought that maybe I like it, and I'll put it in my collection, but it's too. Doesn't happen that much in music. But then again, everything happens in it. I mean, everything just, it takes off everything that I want from music, but I just don't really. So a first French press 2 LP set of Terry Riley's Persian Surgery Derv something. Yeah. So this is the kind of music that I want to have in my shop, you know. I mean, Terry Riley, even if I don't really get it right now, it's kind of cool just to go in here, 4x4 meters of these kind of records, you know. I'm aiming for that. Okay, I'm going to show you one. The next one I'm going to show you after this. I need your help, okay? But this one is Greenslade. Also a band that I never really got into, so I'm really contemplating if I keep this or I'll sell it. But right now I'm putting it up in shop together with like 3 other Greenslade records that was in that same collection. Pretty nice to have also. So like classic sort of prog. I shouldn't say run-of-the-mill prog, but yeah, maybe from the 70s with awesome artwork. You know, it just again takes off everything. Now, I need your help here. If anyone knows anything about this or how to get in contact with this guy, let me know, because I've emailed him. There's a site online about this this label or record series. I would love to have a chat with him, or just like a private phone conversation, because I had never seen this before. Never seen this, never heard about this. And at first glance, this looks like every other bootleg by from Jimi Hendrix, you know, Guitar Hero. What's that? You know, what songs are? And I don't collect bootlegs. It's not my thing. So I don't have any sort of knowledge about it. No, very little about it. But what I thought was kind of cool is that this is from 1967 from Sweden with Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, the trio. I think it was recorded in Gröna Lund, but I might be wrong there. So, but nothing really that stands out with that. But then I started to go down the rabbit hole, seeking out more stuff from this label called Stoned. And maybe I'm the last person on earth that knows about the story about Stoned, but Stoned released, I think, 6 or 7 records. I don't know if you can see that. And in the collection, the Lou Reed record was there also, but Queen, Black Sabbath, Patti Smith, and Roxy Music. The thing is, one guy, he recorded all of these and decided he wanted to put them out so people could hear the recordings and these live takes. So he made this bootleg label, pressed them in 1,000 copies, I think, and put them out. But by the time he put out Lou Reed, the Swedish police knocked at his door. And in 1977, he got 4 months in prison and a huge fine that would go to the artists for you know, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, so he actually put in time in jail for putting out this music in 1977. So obviously no more records came out from this label. So Stoned, this is Stoned 3, but I guess that there is Stoned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. So look for that Google Stoned Records bootleg or something like that. There is an entire site that he has dedicated to this, and where he tells a little bit of the story. But I would love to dive into this story even more. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Like, you go to a Hendrix concert 1967. He shows the recording equipment that he used to record on spot. He pressed this in 1,000 copies, and he goes to jail for it. That's fucking insane. Like, insane. I love it. So that's actually the only bootleg I am going to keep in my own collection, because the story is just bonkers. So yeah. Okay, this was also in a collection that I bought. So I need to clean this, but a fairly early press of that. Nico Chelsea Girl, one of the best records ever recorded. I love it. It's so good. And it doesn't even get up to the kneecaps of the Serta songs. Is that the Serta songs, I think, which is my all-time favorite by hers. But it's one of my favorite records of all time. The mood on that production, and just like you want to cut your wrists after just 5 minutes listening to that record. Pink Floyd, Oh My Gamma, also one that doesn't cost much nowadays. I feel like it was like 10 years ago, maybe 12, something like that. It was it cost more, the sort of mid period Pink Floyd, but nowadays you can get them for pretty cheap. I have a topic for a video that I'm contemplating on doing, but I need people's help with it, I think. Okay, let's see here. Marcus, he wrote, let me know if you would be willing to share those rips. Yeah, PM me. And by the way, great 2020 end of the year show in Stockholm. Sure was like really, really nice. I loved every second of that video. So go to Vinyl Stockholm, check that out. The year-end video. Last video you did was a cool idea. So would love to see more of that. Would love to see My Essentials getting even prog, for example. Like, the funny thing is, I had a fever the days between Christmas and New Year's. So, and my daughter was at her mom's place. So I decided to just go down and show the records that I was swapping for other reissues. Like, these were the sort of earlier or first pressings. And so I just shoot the video without really thinking. Yeah, the thing I was thinking of was that I always show obscure records, and I just wanted to show some regular stuff, so that was just I was sort of aiming for that, and just talking about music and showing records, so I did that, but I didn't edit it until now this week, and starting to sort of thinking of putting it out there. So when I was thinking about the title, I was like, but in my opinion, these are pretty essential records. Can I call this like Top Essential, just to get some clickbait on it? Because I love experimenting. I work with IT and web in my day-to-day job, so stuff like this is interesting to me. So I thought of like, okay, I'm putting that title on it, and I need a thumbnail to really stand out from my other material. And I know how to build a thumbnail to really get the most clicks. You need bright colors and faces and stuff like that. So I know that, but I don't feel like that they look that good, so I don't like using them. But I thought like, what if I try to optimize this as much as I can to get as much click as possible, just as an experiment? And I mean, I had more clicks on that after the first hour than I've had on any video for a long time. So obviously, something with the title and the thumbnail made people click it. So I was just waiting for the hate storm to begin. Because people, I thought like, this isn't really essential record, but people have been nice, so it's kind of cool. I would love to do more. I mean, I obviously have a lot of core essential records in my collection, but I always tend to show the stuff that I just got or that I'm super into right now. But why not show Scandinavian prog records, for an example, like Essential? I've done that before, obviously, but many years ago, and yeah, a great topic. So I'll definitely think about it. Yeah, say story. It's so cool. Let's go now. Have a great weekend. Yeah, you too, Jonas. Thank you so much for popping in. So I'll continue with my race through almost an hour now. This is free, Tons of Sobs. Yeah, I think my favorite free record. I think this is early reissue. Kind of nice. I have a first press of this that I got last year. So this is the Pink Rim Island. Nice with original Island inner sleeve. Super cool, in my opinion. So nice one to add to the shop, I think. And all of these records was from a producer in Sweden. His son was selling off parts of his record collection. So hopefully I can get more, get my hands on more of his collection later down the line. But these were the ones that he didn't want to really keep. So here is PFM, Italian Prague, The World Became the World. I think that they did 2 versions of this. This is the English sung version, and they did one in Italian. And if I'm not mistaken, like they did 2 or 3 records like that. Edgar Frös's Aqua, also nice sort of staple kraut from the Tangerine Dream guy. I got this also. Talk about essential and classic. This is Robert Fripp's Exposure. Let's see here. I think this is first press. Fuck me, it almost looks like a white label promo, but it can't be. I have to check this out. First time I'm looking at the actual label. This has one of my favorite songs on it. And I can't remember what it's called now. Yeah, fuck. Here Comes the Flood. I actually, fun anecdote or story, but I was actually listening to that when my then girlfriend came into my listening room and said that she was pregnant with my daughter. She's now 10 years old. So I was listening to that, having Here Comes the Flood in the background, realizing that I was going to be a father was kind of cool. So I decided that, no, it was actually the Peter Gabriel version. Sorry, it was the Peter Gabriel version. This is actually a better version, but it was the Peter Gabriel version. And so we decided that if it's a boy, we will name him Gabriel. But it was a girl, so now she's called Annie instead. As I said, I don't have much new music, but a guy contacted me. He said that he had made a private pressed record in his student room, and I thought it was so cool, and he's the best guy. So I got one of these to review and one to sell in my shop, and if I sell it, I will get more. But this is modern rock with eyes with eyes of comets, something like that. Very spacey. From the Rotvälta, which is the best label name ever. Swedish Rotvälta, but private press. Everything done by Simon Franzén. And it's a space rock, kraut, prog, folk record. It's all over the place in a good way. It's awesome. I'm going to do an entire review of that because the record really deserves to be heard. And he's pressed it in very few quantities. So it checks out of everything that I love about collecting records. The only thing is that it's a new record. So I don't collect these things, as I told you before. But I mean, sometimes I do exceptions. And having it in the shop is not the same thing as collecting stuff, is it? The Shamer Brothers, the time has come. I listened to this the other day. First, I decided to sell it. Then I decided to keep it. I decided to sell it again. Not because it's a bad record. On the contrary, it's an amazing record on the Direction label. But mainly because I don't collect this. So someone deserves to have it in their collection instead of me. Sometimes I swap stuff when I find first pressings or early pressings for reissues in my own collection. I'm not going to say anything else, but coming up in a recent Final Finds video in the future. Iblis Supernova, I have to say, one of my favorite krautrock records. And it's just like, it's not the typical krautrock record that you ever stumble upon. It's heavy on percussion, and it's almost like fusion-esque, but it's amazing. And this sounds great too. The recording quality is fantastic. It was produced by Conny Plank, and the guys only did this. I tried to do some research on the musicians because they play their heart out. Sounds great, and they did like next to nothing after this. So, you know, one-off record and band, and produced by Conny Plank. I mean, it's just insane. Yeah, best saved for last. So this is Brian Eno's before and after science, and up till today, not today, but last week, something like that. I had no idea that the first UK press came with an envelope of prints. I had no idea. I've never seen it, those prints before, up in for sale or in a shop or anything like that. So in my mind, this record has always been just a record. But with that being said, in a collection, I found a mint copy with the envelope intact. So that is going into my collection, my own collection. So my German first press, I think this is a German first press, is going up for sale in my shop. Great record also. Like there is 3-4 Brian Eno records that are almost Desert Island discs to me. Okay, so these last ones are, I got them from, dare I say, like a collecting buddy of mine in Denmark. And I got them for an insanely good price, but that is because they are not in the best condition. So in my mind, I'm taking a chance on these just because I'm going to give them the full Kermes restoration cleaning process treatment to see if I can up them just a little bit. Some of them might even be unsellable, and some of them hopefully can, you know, be relived. But these are rare records, and records that I wanted for my own collection for many years. But yeah, in this case, I think it's just a buy to resell kind of thing. This is Day of Phoenix, Wide Open N-Way, gatefold, and backside. Great one. I think this is the first one. They made 2 records, this Danish group. You will probably see the condition of the record now, but it's on the let's see here. Yeah, that's my backyard. The Sonnet label. This doesn't look that. I mean, I've gone through it with my fingers. I can't really feel any of the scratches. Maybe 1 or 2. Like it has potential. This has potential. Being able to be saved. So as an experiment, I'm really looking forward to diving first into these. So that's Day of Phoenix. Great one. This is trashed, like really, and the record is not looking much better than cover artwork, to be honest. But like I paid nothing for this, so hopefully maybe I can get it to play a little bit. I don't know. That's the inside of the cover, and there's the pretty I don't know the English word for it, but don't leave much for the imagination, does it? This is proper trash. Like there are at least 2-3 scratches on each side that is feelable. So probably unsavable, unfortunately. But and I don't blame him. He said exactly what he had, and he put prices on them accordingly. So I got them for an even better price because I bought them all. And and so forth. So this is me taking chances on records that maybe can be saved and going out to collectors. He actually threw this in as a bonus. Secret Oyster, really nice to owe him to throw in that. Yeah, all Rune Rod or Röd, hey do. So this actually doesn't look that bad. Maybe, hopefully, I can retrieve this from the dead. Again, great Danish prog classics. There's a label there. So yeah, I'm gonna get my hands dirty on these ones just to see if I can retrieve them a little bit. And this, I was so stoked about this, and it looks. I have a mint first press of this, the same press, and it's a magnificent record, like really a masterpiece of a record. John doing them with thoughts. I think it's private pressed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's private pressed. And the label looks like this. Munich. And the second side isn't that bad. Some sort of like, I think that second side will play mostly like unaffected, but the first side has this. You see the blemishes, like it's affected by some plastic or something like that. So this, I'm really hoping to be able to restore with the Kermes restoration process. Will be really a perfect opportunity to see what that cleaning device goes for with the Kermes treatment. I have cleaned records that was sort of unlistenable to be listenable, but sort of scratches and stuff like that doesn't go away, obviously. But with these kind of things, sometimes it can sort of ease up the gunk and also like open up the grooves almost, so you can dive deeper into the grooves. Anyway, this is in great condition, but this is warped. But I have a buddy of mine, maybe he's watching, 11 watching right now. I have a buddy of mine that has a flattener, so my hope is that he can save this. I'm really hoping that he does, because this was one of the records that I was really aiming for to get last year, but it seems like I start this year with this. It depends on the warp. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know if it's an edge warp or like this warp or this. I have no idea. With a die cut cover, which is kind of cool. I think the only die cut version of this was the original press. French prog fusion. It has everything. This is one of those records that I've seen now, that I've heard the last year, that just blew me away. Yeah, actually looks good. So it's gonna be awesome to see where we can go with this. Hope a buddy of mine can fix the warp. Doesn't look warped, so maybe it's an edge warp. Anyway, so took a chance on that. Let's see if I'm fruitful. So that's it, really. I don't think there's any more questions. And if you have any question, write them now before I go about my day. Going to pack up some orders, sending out clean. Going to do my books. Going to do more inventory. Going to add a lot of stuff to my shop, out on my web shop. I think I found 30 or 40 records that wasn't logged in my shop. It was in the shelves, but it wasn't logged in the shop, so no one knew that they were able to order them. So I guess that's why you do inventory, right? But I think there was like 20 Italian prog records that I bought in Dan Bosch that I put out on fair and then put in my shelf, but never logged. So they are going up in shop too. Oh yeah, just going to show this. I'm going to do a review of this. It's a Swedish book, so maybe, or the only interested in this is the Swedish audience. But they actually sent this as a review copy for me to review on my channel, which is cool. It's interviews with world-known artists like Slash and Uli van Roth and Swedish prog legends and Slade. You know, Sweet. A lot of people, great pictures, and what it is this magazine that doesn't live anymore. They had a segment in every number where they talked with an artist and had a crate of records that they sort of talked around. The records were from the artist or related to the artist or just classics, and it really opened up the interviews. I think it's one of the most brilliant ideas ever to have like Slash flipping through some classic rock and asking him about what he thinks about the music and the people. And I mean, it's brilliant because we don't need to hear Slash talk about Slash anymore. We have enough interviews with that. So what they did was awesome. And now the magazine isn't anymore, but the book was compiled with sort of the best of. Hopefully they do another one, because this is, spoiler alert, amazing. I'm so hooked. I've read I read a third of it just the first night I got it. It's so easy to get into. Lovely pictures, and many of these, like John Holm here, is up there in age. Some of them aren't with us anymore. So a fantastic book. Not that pricey either. Highly recommended. But I'm putting up a Swedish spoken review that is coming out pretty soon. So yeah. Thanks you so much for tuning in, and I'm going to do this every Friday at the same time. So just pop by, ask me questions, and give me suggestions of topics, and talk to you in my next live video or regular video. Yeah. Have a great day, everyone.